Hey guys, I'm going to Yu-Gi-Oh! Regionals tomorrow. Just thought I'd record a deck profile while I have a tripod set up before I pack up to stay elsewhere. Gonna be playing a budget build of DDD. This is what I've been grinding at locals for the past week here, so I'll just try to get it over with as quick as possible here. So, start off with the DD names. Good old DD Savant Kepler. Yeah, it searches dark contracts, and you have a Rhoda in dark contract with the gate. It's pretty important. It's one of the best starters. Always run three. Three Copernicus. I had three from the structure deck before, so didn't have to pay the big prices this is asking for. It's even better nowadays, because it turns out you need level 4s. And yeah, when it's summoned, you send a DD or Dark Contract card from deck to grave, and there's finally a good Dark Contract to send to grave that I'll talk about later. Other best starter, definitely run 3. And now, the Superior Griffin. Not that inferior Wandering Griffin Rider. This is the good Griffin of this format. It's got 3 effects. It's an extender. It just fixed everything about DDD. It's amazing. I'm so happy that we have this. And the Pendulum effect is great too. Finally we can attack over Blue Eyes. 3 Swirl Slime. Back when I was playing this in Master Rule 4 with Electromite, I only played 2 because it was more important to make Electromite first, but now Swirl Slime is like just an amazing surprise to have in your hand if the opponent tries to stop you. And sometimes the only way you can make a second monster is to just swirl for Genghis to make Gilgamesh, and that's okay because you can just get him back with Swagnarok in the scale anyway. And also being able, even if it gets negated and destroyed, you can banish it from your grave and just summon another name to the field. It's amazing. It's amazing now. Definitely run 3. I'm running 2 Orthros. I really like having 2, like one to scale with Rags and then another one to use as a monster because it's a tuner, so you can use that to make Siegfried when you're doing your combos. And well, just having 2 certainly helps for like back row decks and stuff. Really helps the grand game. Love you, Orthros. I'm playing 2 Swagnarok. Most builds are only playing 1, but I like having 2 because it can just be strong if you hard draw it. And again, like having 1 for scale and 1 as a monster. Like, sure, you can get it back with patent license later, but yeah, I think it's just too good. I think you should just have 2. I like having 2. Okay, now onto the 1-ups. DD Berfomet. I'm playing this because I don't have Barone, and this allows you to make High Caesar as your 5th summon so that you don't get owned by Nibiru. And also it's level 4, so if you can make an Orthros, you can use this to make Siegfried later on. Also, it's a soft once per turn, so I've actually used that before. Got Zero King Rage. I like it more so for its monster effect. You can also use this to insulate your first turn from hand traps, and also just like OTK cheeses the opponent on turn 3 sometimes. And there might be a situation where you need a 0 scale too. I'm not playing Cerberus though, but I think this, because I found Cerberus was a brick. I just drew Cerberus too many times. And if all you have is Kepler, you're not making a good board anyway. So, but yeah, Zero King Rage is great. It's okay if you like hard open them too. I'm playing DD Dog. When you're activating Gilgamesh and just picking your scales, usually you do Orthros as your low scale, but if you don't need to use Orthros to pop Tell, this is a good alternate option as a low scale for turn 3 to negate whatever extra deck monster they think they can summon. Also, it's really good as just a searchable out to El Shadal Winda. And it also doesn't even clog Gilgamesh. Like, you go Gate, search Dog, scale Dog, negate Winda for the whole turn, Dog destroys itself. And you could also scale Kepler to pen summon it back and maybe make High Caesar because it's level 6. Dog is awesome. 1 Lamia. Sometimes uses a tuner to make Siegfried with Dark, but usually is just like an extender to be like, oh, okay, well, 1 more shot to try to make Gilgamesh here. Yeah, it comes up sometimes. 1 Mike Tyson. It makes the big Gungus, which is amazing. It can shield you from Imperm if you can get it in your grave super early, too. It's a hard once per turn, like Necro Slime here, so you kind of need both to fusion summon twice using entirely your graveyard. 1 Thomas. I'm not maining Kali Yuga. I'll talk about that in a bit. But it can be a good pendulum effect. You kind of need it for certain combos. Like if you only have one level 4, you can use Gilgamesh to scale Griffin and Thomas. And if you have a contract, Griffin can pop itself to go to your extra deck, and then Thomas can add it back to hand, and then you put that on the field with your other level 4, and you can go off. So that's the DD monsters. Now the contracts. 3-gate, it's Rhoda, it's amazing. Even if you don't have to tear this up with Machinex, you having it ready on turn 3 to just like search whatever you need to kill your opponent is awesome. 1 contract with the Swamp King. It also lets you fusion summon, and some combo routes use it. It's also fine to hard draw it. It's a great card. I've heard some people talk about running 2. Here's the new field spell, Dark Contract with Patent License. This isn't always like, I don't like going for this when like going first and don't know what I'm playing against, but it can still be pretty good. It's really useful versus a lot of meta decks right now. Like they can only, if you leave Gilgamesh up, they can only link summon once in the turn, for example. And you can, if it's sent to the graveyard from anywhere, then you can like Warrior Returning Alive a DD monster from your graveyard or face up extra. So it can help you recover. It's quite good. And the 1 trap card, DDD Headhunt. It's a Mega Widow Anchor that lasts for 2 turns. The thing that you steal can't attack, and its effects are negated, so this is kind of handy with Machinex. Also, a little trick you can do. If they go Forbidden Droplet and don't send a trap card, you can chain DDD Headhunt to steal their guy, and then chain Siegfried to Droplet, because you're not reacting to Droplet, you're reacting to Triple D Headhunt. Hehehe. Alright, now the consistency spells. A single 1-for-1. Still the best card in the deck. It fills up your grave and you get Kepler without having to normal summon. Kind of insane. You could normal summon Copernicus and get Griffin, and then you have like leftover link material. You could do whatever you wanted. We got 2 Puree map. I might have a 3rd soon, but I think I might only want to play 2 anyway, because it's like effectively a hard once per turn, because you can only do it at the start of your main phase 1. And don't try to add King Rage for this unless you're just going to use him as fusion material, because then he's just a Marshmallow. You can't even scale him either. I tried on Master Duel. You could, however, get Puppet Master, but that's some secret spice. Okay, so that's like the main deck core. Now, what kind of decks am I playing? What sort of hand traps? Well, 3 Ash Blossom works on like 1,000 cards in the game. It's pretty good. 3 Ghost Ogre. I tried 2 for a while, but I was on a 41 card list and just felt like I didn't have enough hand traps, so I decided to just add 1 and play 42. Ogre's really good versus Fateful Adventure and some other things, but it's okay to side out, depending on the matchup. Here's 2 Effect Veiler and 1 Droll. These are the only hand traps I have on hand. Just these 9. Droll, these almost always get sided out, so I might try some other super secret spicy tech. And the last card in the deck, good old Called by the Grave. I miss playing 3 of these in the Master Rule 4 version, because it really hurts to get disrupted in this deck, so any protection you can run is very helpful. Onto the extra deck, which is also sorted. 3 Gilgamesh. I was playing 2 for a while, so usually you can side out one of these, especially if you're like using Orthros to pop Kingtel in your combos. Also note this guy floats if link summoned, so I find it's okay to leave 1 up as part of your end board. 2 Lil Genghis. You need to play 2 so you can make High Caesar. That's pretty standard. 1 Dark. I was playing Where Art Thou a while ago, and it was kind of funny to use Where Art Thou to search Effect Veiler or Droll and then gain 2,000 life points. But now that I'm on Puree map, don't need to do that. And there's Big Gungus, the level 8. This is kind of fun to use to like cover yourself from Imperm. Yeah, it's like really good going second as well, to just sort of like clobber your way through back row. Also works on normal summon, so you can make some big plays if you're going second. One Siegfried. It's the only synchro you need to run. If he gets destroyed, you gain life points, and it has to be Chain Link 1. It's mandatory, so bear that in mind. You might not be able to chain block whatever destroy effects you have planned. And here's Boneless Baron. This gives all your monsters effect targeting protection. Can't be targeted by card effects. So it's no Baron, but you could use it to protect Gilgamesh from Valor or Imperm, which is the harshest response to this deck. So also, I really like playing it because it's just really funny to float into off Gilgamesh, because it has 3,000 defense and that targeting protection, so your opponent's going to be like, oh. And also, if it gets destroyed, you can put it in your scale, and it's a 1 scale. So it's a lot of upside. Wish it was Baron, but this is good enough. One Wave King Caesar. I like this guy's Torrential Reborn effect, because it really threatens Zeus pretty well. Well, as long as maybe the older guys are in attack, but even still, you could just like activate Caesar and then slap Tell on top, crash in there, get your Sent to Grave effect, and then Tell will come back, and then you can throw Machinex on him, and then Zeus. So, and also the Searching for Contracts is quite nice. Also a part of a lot of combos. I actually used this effect at locals yesterday. Again, I got super polyed. An opponent made Starving Venom, and if it gets destroyed, it kills all your special summon monsters. But I just, I used Caesar's Torrential Reborn effect. Everything came back, and I made Dark and gained 3,000 life points on the next standby phase. And here's King Tell. You kind of slap this on top of Wave King Caesar. The Sent from Field to Grave effect to send a DD or Dark Contract card from deck to grave is not once per turn. So keep that in mind when doing combos. And yeah, this effect is also actually pretty good, because, before DDD always had trouble attacking over things bigger than 2,800, but now Tell makes it super easy. And here's High King Caesar. What an amazing rank 6. It's just like 2 bullets of Solemn Warning, and you can use the attack boost to get Gilgamesh above his measly 1,800. So handy. And also searches a contract when destroyed. So you can search Gate for next turn if the opponent does get over it. Ignore this ulti Zeus. I'm going to be trading it for a lower rarity one and pocketing the difference. I think I've only summoned this once, though. This is the only not triple D in my extra deck, because Gilgamesh, Xeno locks you. You can only special summon DDs. So it can be a little awkward to make this sometimes, but yeah, you can make a really big one, theoretically, with like Caesar, Tell, Machinex, Zeus. That's like 5 materials to start with, so you could either activate Tell or Caesar, depending on what's going on along the way. And the end of the extra deck, 2 Machinex. Yeah, you just need 2, because sometimes you can only control 1, but you can summon it as many times in a turn as needed. Although if you have to like plot Machinex and then link it off and then make another one, I don't know what happened, but I don't know. Yeah, it's good to have another one, though, because it's like 3,000, awesome stats. You could scale it on turn 3, and then you'll have another one in the extra deck to finish off the opponent with. That's the extra deck. Onto the side deck. Here's other hand traps. 3 Lancia, 3 Token Collector. I actually had a game where I Pendulum summoned Lancia with Orthros and Thomas. That was kind of funny. Token Collector is amazing, though, because it's a level 4 Fiend, and Wave King Caesar needs 2 level 4 Fiends. So you can use Token Collector to get halfway there, and then go off from there. I find I'm siding into these almost all the time, and meanwhile Valor and Droll are pretty lackluster these days. Valor just seems very power creep these days because of what's with all these monster effects like, Drytron and Virtual World and Lyralus. They all activate in the hand. They do everything from the hand and then hit the field. Valor's so useless. Anyway. 1 Pancratops and 2 Forbidden Chalice. This is all I got for going second deck. What you do is you side out Headhunt, Patent License, and Berfomet, and then you side out 1 Genghis and 1 High Caesar when you're going second. Because, like, what are you going to... There's no point in making High Caesar if you're going second, and then you won't need a second Genghis either. And so even though the deck is very engine heavy, you know, those 3 cards are just super easy to take out. And then you have the going second spice. And some enhanced contracts for game 2 or 3 where you know you're going first. Dark Contract with Errors will protect you from evenly matched, and also will just completely own trap decks like Eldritch or Salamangreat. And I kind of had mixed feelings about Dark Contract with the Eternal Darkness, because like it's super powerful, and if you have Machinex, you won't want to get rid of it because it's just so good. You do have to maintain 2 scales though, so you'll need triple Gilgamesh in the extra deck for sure. I think this is not so good on against the Master Duel meta right now, but this is amazing in the TCG meta right now. Like PK can't Dixie Summon, Prankids. Oh, Prankids usually fuse from the hand. Oh well. Well, Sword Soul will be doomed as well, because they can't even make Halkid Fibrax. They're stuck on that token. And again, you can do that trick with, like, if they try to droplet, then you flip over Dark Contract with Eternal Darkness and then chain Siegfried to the droplet. They'll have to send a trap card. So yeah, that's 11 side deck cards. I mean, Eternal Darkness is great. Maybe you'll search it. It's kind of better than Patent License. But yeah, the rest of my extra deck is extra deck monsters. We've got Supreme King Dragon, Dark Rebellion. You need 2 level 4 Dark Pendulums, but there's plenty of those. We got Griffin and Copernicus. Note you'll have to normal summon Orthros, or else you'll get Fiend locked if you want to use Orthros. But yeah, this just basically like grabs their biggest guy during damage calc, so during damage step. Just grabs their biggest guy and flings it at their face. Like, it steals all of its attack power. So you hit them for 25 plus their biggest guy. So, you know, they got, you know, big affected Eldritch, 3,500. Don't care. Take 6k. Ha ha ha. And here's Kali Yuga. I mean, Kali Yuga's great. There wasn't really room in the extra deck. So he's chilling in my side deck. Again, like, super good versus back row decks. And even Numeron Network can be one more way to stop Numeron Network. And the last 2 cards is this 2-card package here. So this Dark Charmers steals DPE from their graveyard, and then if I can get another level 8 onto the field, I can tuck it under this Dingirsu, which also has that Sentu Graveyard effect. This is where Thomas's monster effect comes in too. That's why I'm playing 2 Ragnarok. It's important to have one in the deck. It's the only thing Thomas can summon. So you gotta have one in the deck so that you can make a rank 8 play. You can make Ding to send to Graveyard in case there's some indestructible nonsense like Bielze. So yeah, that's my deck. It may change a little bit in time for regionals tomorrow. But yeah, it's pretty budget. If you don't have Puri Ray Map or such things, you can play Where Art Thou and Jack in the Hand. Although that takes up a lot more room. You need 2 Lamia for that, at minimum. Yeah, that's all on the deck profile here. Thanks for watching.